Now, back in September of 2023, MVD released their second 4K UHD with GHOULIES. And if you haven't seen my comparison of that, definitely go check it out. Link is down below in the description. And at the same time, MVD also did a re-release of GHOULIES 2 on Blu-ray for their Rewind Collection series. Now, this Blu-ray did carry over the same 2K scan of the interpositive that was also used for the Shout Factory and also Umbrella release on Blu-ray. Now, in my interview with Eric from MVD, he goes on to mention that they are working on a 4K for GHOULIES 2. Well, after 9 months of waiting, it's finally here and hitting the shelves on July 9th, 2024. And I was afforded the opportunity to get a very early screener of the 4K presentation with these check discs that I've been sitting on for a while now, which was great because it gave me ample time to really review and compare it to the previous HD release used for the Shout Factory and MVD's Blu-ray. So I want to give a huge thanks to MVD for sending this to me so we can really dig in and take a closer look at these. And as a side note, the Blu-ray that's included in this 4K release includes the director's cut. Alright, so let's get into it and see if this 4K release of GHOULIES 2 is worth upgrading from your Blu-ray. Wow. Right off the bat, you can easily tell this is a new transfer, along with a very nice cleanup job. Perfect example is this shot here. I mean, come on. This alone speaks for itself and how great they did with this cleanup job. And I'll get more into the image quality a little bit later. But right now I want to talk about the color reproduction. That is outstanding. Now, the image already had some really nice splashes of color on the Blu-ray. The 4K and HDR grading enhances what's already there, with bright, vibrant, active colors along some really nice color depth. We have richer, vibrant candy reds, natural cool blues, radiant yellows, dark or emerald greens. And secondary colors are just as great, from purples, pinks, all the neon 80s colors. You name it, it's there. The entire color palette really springs to life that pops off the screen. The saturation is increased, that helps inject some nice punch into the image without it looking overly hot or artificial. And contrast is dialed in just right. That really helps with brighter daylight scenes, but also with the many darkly lit scenes and night scenes throughout the film. Skin tones are also warmer and more natural looking. The black levels are handled perfectly on this 4K, giving us some really nice, deep, inky, truer blacks and richer shadows that has a lot of shadow detail to it. The Blu-ray looked great as well, but not to this level. The deeper black and shadows ups the ante here and works wonders with all the dark and night scenes, giving a truer sense of night that we just did not have on the Blu-ray. In fact, the Blu-ray, I noticed some speckling and scratches and even some brighter blacks within the black levels. That is all gone here on the 4K. Their overall image quality is incredible. While the clarity doesn't hide the lesser aspects of the filmmaking, the 4K definitely draws out a more organic presentation than I've ever seen it before. Details are especially finer, they look fantastic, and stay as sharp as it can get from any direction the camera is pointed at, including tight close-ups and wide shots. The GHOULIES themselves look incredible, where we can now make out all the internet details and the puppets and all the slime and gore. The giant ghoulie in the finale looks incredible, showing off all the work from the scales and patterns and details within the eyes and the nose breathing. But it was the gnarly, sharp teeth is where it's at. We can clearly make out all the slime gore as he gobbles down the small ghoulies, even down to bits of flesh hanging down or trapped between its teeth. It's all there, showcasing the puppet practical effects in full. GHOULIES 2 on 4K now brings to life the production design and cinematography, filling a 185 frame with some really nice depth and three-dimensionality that was sorely missing on the flat-looking Blu-ray image. The bitrate I saw start around in the mid 70s and top out in the low 90s Mbps. And the grain is fully intact here that also looks tighter and better resolved than it did on the Blu-ray, giving us some really nice 35mm filmic appearance that again looks natural and organic. Now, I've been watching GHOULIES 2 for the past 35 years on TV, video, DVD, Blu-ray. And from MVD's previous Blu-ray release, I honestly thought, how much better could this possibly look? And I've honestly never seen Ghoulies 2 look this good before. It has no right looking this good, and is a perfect example of the power of what 4K and HDR grading can really do if done correctly. Now, I know what you may be asking. What about the unrated director's cut of Ghoulies 2? Well, I have to say this looks just as good. So my review for the theatrical cut of Ghoulies 2 stands for the director's cut of Ghoulies 2. Alright, now let's dive into the audio presentation of Ghoulies 2 in 4K UHD, and we do have a stereo track that sounds great. From the music to the Ghoulies sound effects to dialogue, it's all there, clean and clear, some nice dynamic range, and there's also some nice object placement between the two front channels, and some really nice dynamic range. It sounds great. Alright, so my score for MVD's 4K UHD presentation of Ghoulies 2, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 for video and audio. MVD has hit it out of the park and has done it again. If you own the Blu-ray or just a fan of the franchise, the 4K is highly worth picking up, and it's being released July 9th, 2024. But now here's the real test. I want to hear your opinion here. When you look at the differences here between the 4K and the previously released Blu-ray, which do you like better? Or do you see any difference at all? Head over to the comment section and let me know. Alright, well, thanks so much for hanging out with me for minutes here as we talk about Ghoulies 2 on 4K UHD and comparing it to the previous release Blu-ray. As always, guys, keep physical media alive, and we'll see you next time with another Blu-ray versus 4K comparison.